Hi guys, we're going to talk today about lesson 5.4, and this is the last lesson in chapter 5, but we're also going to do chapter 6 for our next test, so we're not quite finished. Now, today is the triangle inequality theorem. Sometimes when you have two lengths of a triangle, we need to figure out if the third length actually forms a triangle. So the book starts with an idea that the Venus and Sun is typically about the same distance away, and Sun and the Earth is typically about the same distance away, but the distance between Venus and the Earth changes as they rotate. So sometimes it gets to a certain point where it may not form a triangle anymore. And we need to know what is the closest length they could be together to form a triangle and what is the furthest length. And so we'll come back to this in just a second. And we're going to do the triangle inequality theorem. And as you know, with Canvas, I'm going to have to use the theorem number. It's too much to try to type out the name triangle inequality theorem. But let's jump into an example of this. If I have the sides 2, 4, and 5, this is the sum, which means adding two sides of a triangle. It has to be greater than the third side. So this is pretty easy to show. We're going to add the two sides. It has to be greater than the third. So is 6 greater than 5? Of course. Now this has to work for all three sets. So we're going to keep rotating the numbers to show it works for everything. Yes, it works. Let's rotate the numbers again. 5 plus 2, is that greater than 4? Yes. So if you had, you pick the unit, a length of 5 units, a length of 4 units, and a length, I know that's not to scale, 2 units, would it actually form a triangle? And the answer is yes. But on the converse of that, let's try one with sides 4, 5, and 10. Okay, so is 4 plus 5 greater than 10? Right away, we see no. Now, if I rotate it, it works. 15 is greater than 4, of course. And then is 14 greater than 5? Of course. Now, it doesn't matter. As soon as you get to one where it says it doesn't work, you're going to say it doesn't work. So what this would look like is you have the long side here of like 10 units. And then you have like two little short sides, like 5 and 4, and they don't meet. So it doesn't form a triangle. So that's the situation. Now, let's go back to the Venus, Earth, Sun thing. Now, this is an unknown, okay, from Venus to Earth. We have 3 possibilities. So I'm going to grab my calculator and let's subtract. So if I'm solving for x on this one, so 93 minus 67 is x has to be greater than 26, and we understand this is like a million miles. Now, when I do this one's kind of weird because you get a negative answer. So there's always going to be one answer that doesn't really work, and that's this one. Doesn't work. Now let's try this one. You're just going to add these two together, and I get 160. Now, not to confuse you, but do you guys understand that's the same thing if I flip my sign? X is less than 160. Okay. Now, typically, what we're going to do is we're going to write a compound inequality. And what this means is we are going to write a mathematical statement that shows what that third side could be for Venus to Earth. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this answer and combine them. Now, x is going to be in the middle, so I need to flip this guy around. So when I do that, I move the 26 to the other side, the x to the other side, and I have to flip the sign. So it's 26 is less than x. Then I'm going to bring this guy down. the x overlaps. It's less than 160. Now, typically, it's like a number line. We start with the smallest here, and this number needs to be the biggest. The symbols here and here are always less than. Now, we can do this kind of a faster way, honestly. Let's make this easier. If you have triangles of 6 and 14 and you're trying to find the range of the third side, all you have to do is subtract the two numbers, add the two numbers, and write the compound inequality. We're ignoring this down here. So 14 minus 6 is 8. So let's subtract and put the smaller number. And we know it's a less than sign, and then an X and a less than sign, and then we're going to add the two numbers and get 20. Pretty easy, right? You don't have to show all that work. So, one more time. 10, 18, and X. Write that as a compound inequality for the value of X. So subtract, less than X is less than, add them together, 28. Not bad, right? Okay, so that is it for lesson 4. And so last class for lesson 3, there wasn't a quiz. Today you're going to take a quiz over lesson 3 and lesson 4. And let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.